feel alone. I feel like life is crumbling on me, but I've learned this year that even in those moments, God is still there. He's there in the good and he's there in the bad. If anything, God is more present in the bad, because sometimes we get so low that we have nothing else to call on but God. And so we're open and we're like, God, I don't know what to do at this point. I just need you, right? And what I'm realizing is that he's there in those moments and he's also there in the highs. Hey guys, it's your girl Abby and I'm back with another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the lessons that I've learned throughout the year that I'm bringing into the next year of 2023. Now, that sounds absolutely crazy that we are already in 2023. I feel like 12-year-old me is looking at the time now and is like, what? 2023? Like, you made it to 2023? I've never even thought about 2023. It was just 2012. Honestly, I don't know what 2022 has been like for you, but for me, 2022 has been a very, I don't know if the word is tumultuous or year filled with so many ups and so many downs. And so I think throughout this year I've learned so much about myself and so much about the world, and I've learned lessons that I will definitely be taking into 2023 but also into years to come. This year has been quite crazy. I moved 3 times this year. I moved across the country, within the country, back to the country. I've just been all over the place, and I think about it and it's super symbolic of the mental changes that have happened in my life as well. I have had so many perspective shifts, so many belief shifts, so many changes of ideals within my mind and within my heart, and it's symbolic of the physical movement that I've been going throughout this year. I feel like this year I've kind of been a ping pong. Physically, I've been moving from one place to the other place to the other place and just been tossed back and forth, but also I've been doing that within my mind. My beliefs have been tossed and turned, and it has led me to where I am right now, where I feel like I am the most myself that I've been in probably like 2 or 3 years, and I'm super grateful for that, because I'm realizing that to be yourself and to be in your authenticity is a gift that replaces no other. Like, it is top tier. And so I'm grateful for the ping-ponging that I went through physically and mentally, because it has landed me in a place where I feel so grounded and so true to who I really am. And so I want to share the lessons that I've learned. I want to share the lessons that have brought me to this grounding, to this place where I feel authentically me, where I feel like I'm back in my shoes, I'm back in my body, I'm back in my mind, and I'm able to express myself, right? I don't know if you guys have watched my previous videos where I mentioned that I did have a YouTube channel years ago, and so I always envisioned myself in front of the camera making YouTube videos, doing exactly what I'm doing right now, but somewhere along the road, somewhere along the past couple years, that vision got clouded, that vision got jaded. I stopped doing what I actually cared about doing. I stopped talking about the things that I actually care about and that I'm passionate about. And so the fact that the ping-ponging and the ups and downs have led me right here in front of the camera, doing what I actually like to do and what I'm passionate about doing, is a blessing that I'm so very grateful. And so I'm going to share with you guys the lessons that I've learned throughout this year that I will be taking into the upcoming year. The first thing that I've learned is don't judge a book by its cover. Now, when I hear the saying don't judge a book by its cover, automatically the image that I get in my mind is give everything a chance. Don't just judge a book by its cover. If you see a book that doesn't necessarily attract you, that doesn't necessarily look like something you would be interested in, give it a chance. Open it up. Give it a read. The cover isn't representative of what's inside the book. But what I've learned through this year is that it also goes in reverse, as in when the cover is attractive, when the cover looks like exactly what you think you want and what you need, when the cover looks like you, when the cover looks like what you like, doesn't necessarily mean that what's inside is for you. And so don't just judge a book by its cover. Don't just judge someone based off of how they look or the persona that they give off. What really matters is the substance that's inside. What really matters is the context of the book. And so even when the book is bright and shiny and attractive, negative. Don't just judge it based off of that. Similarly to even when the book is dull and doesn't look like it's something for you, give it a chance. See what's on the inside and judge the book based off what's on the inside. This year for me has been very humbling in that I've had to learn that I can't necessarily judge things based off of what I can see or hear, but instead I have to judge it off of what it is. And I would even go as far as saying that don't trust words, trust actions. That's something that I've definitely learned and is ringing true in so many areas of my life, is that words are cheap. Words are so cheap. It's so easy for me to say something, but my actions are what matter. It's not easy to act things out. We can say that we're trustworthy. We can say that we're a loyal person. We can say that we love God, and we can say that we are all these things, but do our actions align with it? Because it's easy to sit and talk. It's easy to sit and say things, right? We know what sounds good. We know what feels good to the body, right? We know what will resonate with people, right? But actions aren't as simple. The words are cheap. The words are easy. The words cost nothing to spit out. But the actions are expensive. The actions take effort. The actions truly reveal what is inside. And so I'm learning this within relationships, within friendships, is don't just take in what people tell you. Actually allow them to show up and show you what they tell you. Take the words that they're saying and store it in the back and allow them the opportunity to show it. And based off of what they show and based off of the person they show up as, judge them based off of that. I know for me, I have a tendency to soak everything up. It's almost as if I'm super naive in that way, where if someone tells me something, I'm a little bit gullible where I'll just believe it. And I always try and give people the benefit of the doubt. But this has been something that has kind of nipped me in the butt, where I'm constantly just taking things at face value. I'm constantly taking words at face value because I have this just trusting spirit, I guess. But having trust is a good thing, but it also needs to have boundaries, right? And so I can be a trustful person, but I also have to understand that words are cheap and that actions really determine whether someone is worthy of being trusted, right? Actions really determine who a person is. I can say that I am this super loyal and great person, right? I can say all these things about me, but if my actions don't match up, am I really that person? And so I'm learning, don't just judge a book by how it looks on the outside. It might be attractive and it might look like everything you want or need, and that could be in relationships or in friendships or coworkers, any relationship in life, anything in life. Regardless of how it looks, what it is in the context. What it is in the pages of the books. It isn't just on the cover. Regardless if the cover is shiny or bright or dull, what matters is what's on the inside. The other thing that I've learned is people are doing the best they can with what they have. This is something that has been so insanely humbling for me, to understand that we're all doing the best we can with what we have. In life, we come across so many different people with so many different backgrounds, right? We each have things that we've been through and that we've come through. We all have our unique scars and markings, and they define the way that we perceive the world. And because they define the way we perceive the world, they define the way that we interact with people and interact with the world. And so when we have individual people coming together, we have individual people with unique and complex and dynamic stories coming together. And so sometimes there's conflict, and sometimes there isn't this synchrony where things are just beautiful, right? Sometimes there is, when there's maybe a common understanding or a cultural similarity where things just kind of ease together. But oftentimes there is a clash and there is conflict. And within those moments, I'm realizing that rather than having an outlook of, I hate you, you did this to me, you did that to me, you're this and you're that, I'm shifting to more of an outlook of, we're all doing the best that we can with what we have. Sometimes we do wrong, but it isn't necessarily out of the desire to hurt others or the desire to actually do someone wrong, but really just a reflection of where we are in life. And I think of some of the mistakes that I've made in my life, and I look back and I say, man, if only I knew what I knew now, then I would have acted so differently, right? And so it's lending that same grace to other people, in that you hurt me and you treated me in a way that I didn't necessarily deserve to be treated or wanted to be treated, but I understand that you're doing the best you can with what you have. And that's a humbling perspective to have, in that it just extends grace and it extends love to everybody, and it's understanding that we're all just trying to get through life and we're all just figuring it out. And because we're human beings with complex stories, there's going to be clash and there's going to be conflict, but at the end of the day, no one is out here trying to hurt you. No one is out here trying to bring you down and trying to just crush you. We're just doing the best we can with what we have. Third thing that I have learned this year is that I don't know anything. I have learned that as much as I think I know, I don't know anything. This year has humbled me to the core. It's humbled me to the core in that even when I'm in phases of my life where I feel confident, where I feel like my intuition is at an all-time high, there's still room for error. There's still room for unknown, right? And I think coming into the understanding that I don't know anything has really strengthened my relationship with God, because it relies on an understanding that is greater than me, right? I'm realizing that I don't know everything. I can feel confident in a situation. I can feel assured. I can feel like I have all the knowledge and all the wisdom, that I'm good, right? But I know now, I know that there are things beyond the things that I know. There's levels to this, right? There's levels to life, and I am a mere human being that isn't always going to understand the levels to things. And so I've come into really having this surrender, in that I have someone that I can lean on, and that person being God. My relationship with God has been so strengthened in that I don't know anything. I don't know what you have for me, but I know that you know, and so I can rest on that. Life is a little bit easier because it isn't all based on my knowledge and my wisdom, my knowledge and my intuition, and these things that I connect so much to my knowing. I'm realizing that my knowing isn't actually knowing. My knowing is limiting. My wisdom is limited, right? The things that I've been through is limited. I don't know everything. I haven't been through everything, and so I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers, and so I rest on the fact that my life is guided and protected by someone that has a greater understanding of it, has a greater understanding and a greater knowledge and wisdom over my life and life in general. So moving forward in 2023, I think what I'm really going to take with me is the fact that don't get too confident. Don't ever get too confident in what you think you know. Always have a little bit of room for error, right? When you are applying to a new job or entering a new chapter in your life or a new relationship or friendship or whatever it is, understand that there is still room for the unknown. Although your intuition might be guiding you in this way, and although your confidence is leading you in this way, have room for error, right? When we have room for error, we invite God into our lives. We invite a higher understanding, a higher power into our lives, and that can then gear and shift us in the right direction. And so this year, I am open to the unknown. I'm open to greater understanding that doesn't only come from me, but comes from God. This leads into the fourth thing that I've learned this year, and that is God is always with you. His love is infinite. I have learned this year that even in my darkest moments, even when I feel like I have strayed far away from God, even when I feel like He wants nothing to do with me because I've been so far away, He's still there. He's still there with His arm reached out, waiting for me to grab it, waiting for me to reach back out. I've realized that sometimes I get in phases of my life or in situations where it feels dark and it feels alone and it feels like I don't know what to do. I feel alone. I feel like life is crumbling on me, but I've learned this year that even in those moments, God is still there. He's there in the good and He's there in the bad. If anything, God is more present in the bad, because sometimes we get so low that we have nothing else to call on but God. And so we're open and we're like, God, I don't know what to do at this point. I just need you, right? And what I'm realizing is that he's there in those moments, and he's also there in the highs, right? In the highs where we feel like, life is so good, he's still there. Life is so bad and it's horrible and I hate everything and I just don't even want to be here. He's still there. He's still there reaching out his love, right? His love is infinite, meaning it doesn't matter what we've done, it doesn't matter how far we've strayed, his love still extends to us. It's infinite. Doesn't matter how far you think you are, the love extends. God doesn't look at us the way that we look at other people. We look at other people and we're like, oh, they did this, oh, they've been through that. We start judging, oh, that means they this type of person, da 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 da. God does not do that. God looks at us and he says, you're this, you're that, and you're this, but I still love you. And I've really felt that throughout this year of like, doesn't matter how far I think I've gone, doesn't matter how distant I feel, he's still there and he still loves me. Regardless, through it all, he still loves me. His love is infinite. The last and final thing that I've learned this year is to be perseverant. Now, this is something that I think is so valuable and has been instrumental in my year, and I hope to take into 23, or that I will be taking into 23, is to be perseverant. In anything you go through in life, persevere through it. In any struggle you're going through, you might not see the other way out, you might not see the light at the end of the tunnel, but persevere. Sometimes we don't know where we're going, but we know that where we are is not where we're supposed to be. Persevere through it. Just keep moving. Doesn't matter how small the action is, doesn't matter. Sometimes I would even say it doesn't matter which direction you're going. If you are in somewhere that you are not happy, if you are in a phase in your life where you're not happy, and it's spilling over into other areas of your life, or maybe you're in a phase of depression or anxiety or really poor mental health, persevere through that. Know that that is not the end of the story. Know that your depression and your anxiety and your low state, your darkness, is not the end of the story. And so with the spirit of perseverance, we can get through anything, because we know that here, where I am here, is not where I'm going to be forever. I'm persevering through it. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know when I'm going to get there. I don't even know if this is the right direction for me to be moving in, but I'm going to persevere because I refuse to let this have a hold on me. And I've realized something about myself. I've realized that there is this fire within me that never fails to persevere, and it's something that I really do love about myself. I refuse to settle. Doesn't matter how dark my life might look like, or how dark it might feel, or how unhappy or depressed I am going to persevere. I'm going to persevere through it all. I'm going to work through it. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm getting through it. And it's something that has helped me enormously. It shows me that I don't have to lay where I am forever. Now, don't get me wrong. I will sulk. I will sit in my sorrows and I'll cry and I'll express myself and I'll journal and I'll do whatever I have to do. I'll be a sad girl for whatever amount of time that I need to be a sad girl, until I understand my emotions, until I understand my mind, until I understand the situation to the best that I can, right? Until I come into an understanding, right? I'll sulk until then. But after the sulking, I'm not staying there. I'm getting up and I'm moving. I have this fire in me, and I've realized it's because I have the spirit of perseverance within me, in that I am going to get through whatever I'm going through. Doesn't matter how big, doesn't matter how bad, I'm gonna get through it. And I think that we should all adopt, or try to adopt, the spirit of perseverance, in that life is gonna bring us down. Life is gonna bring hard times. But if we have the spirit of perseverance, we can get through it, right? Life is not getting easier. The more we age, the older we get, life does not get easier. It's the same. It's almost like a cycle, right? But we can develop these spirits. We can develop these essences that carry us through life. And the spirit of perseverance is one that will carry you out of the inevitable darkness that you will face in life, right? It'll carry you into a lighter space. It'll shift your mind and your heart in a new perspective, where you can sit in the dark and you can feel the darkness and understand that although I'm in the darkness, although I'm here, there's more for me. And within my perseverance, within my movement towards the better, I am getting better. I am feeling better. My mind is shifting. My heart is shifting. And so be perseverant in anything that you go through. In 2023, remember that whatever comes your way, you can get through it, you can persevere through it, and there is no time scale on that, right? We're all living different lives and we all have different journeys, but if you persevere, the good will come. Guaranteed. That's one thing I can guarantee you. If you persevere, the good will come. There's no doubt about it. Those are the lessons that I will be bringing into 2023. Those have been the most instrumental lessons that I have learned within the year of 2022. I want to end this video off just by wishing you a happy, happy new year. I pray and I hope that 2023 is filled with all your dreams coming true, or the start of your dreams coming true. I pray that your dreams are filled with love and light, and that even when the darkness comes and even when the hard times come, you're able to work through it. You're able to see the brighter side of it. You're able to turn, you know, the hard times and the lessons into something good. I know that you can do it because I've done it, and if I can do it, you can do it. So I wish you guys the best year to come. I will see you in the new year. I want to thank you for being here. I love you, love you, love you so much. Until next time, peace and love. Bye.